Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Yes, the Blackhawks have won their fourth game in a row, storming back from a 3-0 deficit to beat the Dallas Stars 4-3. Patrick Kane and Max Domi combined for 6 points. Those two are absolutely feeling it right now, absolutely on fire. And we're going to get into all of it as well as the big trade that Kyle Davidson made before the game today. Before we get into all of that, make sure you smash that like button on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page as well. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you there. Make sure you're subscribed or following on your preferred app. And if you could leave us a 5-star review, that would be great. You see Mario and I rocking our new CHGO Hockey crew neck sweatshirts. Get yours at chgolocker.com. And remember, diehards at allchgo.com save 20% on all merchandise orders. So, with that,
you guys printing those playoff tickets yet?
Boy, oh boy.
Woo. Let's go.
Here's the thing.
Who can we draft at 13?
Seriously, bad for the tank, but this has been the most entertaining stretch of hockey we've seen from the Hawks in probably 3 years, since the bubble playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is... I haven't had this much just pure fan fun watching this team in a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's great. It's super entertaining. And what we've said about them all year, there's been a handful of games where you felt the effort wasn't there, but this team does not stop. They don't relent. They don't have a ton of talent, but now when your best player is playing like your best player,
yeah.
This is a different dude. It's like he was body snatched for the first 49 games of the year. He had 9 goals in the first 49 games. He's got 7 goals this week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
He's now on pace for what, 25?
Yeah.
30 goals? Like, where did that come from?
And it's crazy to say, like, can one guy make that big of a difference? Probably not on your typical team, but on a team like this, they need him to succeed. If Patrick Kane is not performing, they're lost. They're screwed. And he has been absolutely on fire for the last week. Hearing the whispers that he's washed and he's done and he doesn't have value and he's not going to get any, trade value, whatever. He hears that stuff, he takes it personally, and he turns it on. Now, it's a little frustrating that it took all that to get him going, but he's going. So, and good timing. If he's going to approve a trade, which as of now, we still don't know, he picked a good time to get hot.
Hey, he's been the ultimate team player. He's been garbage for most of the year to get us in those tank standings, and when it's time to get traded, he gets red hot. He is the model citizen here right now. And on a serious note, you forgot how fun Patrick Kane is when he's in FU mode. When he's just like, nope, I'm the best player on the ice, and you can't stop me. It's been a while since we've seen that, at least on a consistent basis, but that's what we've had for the last 3 games, and it's been fun. Yes, it's not helping the overall big picture, but I don't care at this point. It's because in 2 weeks from now, this team is not going to beat anybody.
It's going to look a lot different, and
Nikita Zaitsev is going to be our best player in a couple of days, and that's not going to be fun.
Wow.
Michael, we see your super chat. We're going to put a pin in that. And we're going to get to the Zaitsev deal in the second half of the show, but we will get to your super chat. Thank you for it.
Thank you,
we're going to focus on this game for now. Just super fun. And how about Jackson Stauber? I mean,
goaltender of the future.
I don't signed as a free agent out of Providence. That was another Kyle Davidson move last year. And kind of like, all right, they're trying to add some depth, see what happens. It's going to be Comesso and Soderblom.
It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah. And he's been terrific. Was he 5-1?
5-1 as an absolute rookie who started the season, 5th on the Blackhawks depth chart of goalies? Like,
he's got his
crazy
AHL save percentage this season is sub 900.
Yeah,
and he's 5-1 in the AHL. Man,
he was
hockey is stupid. Sometimes.
Just toiling away in the AHL. He didn't need to be down there. He's ready for the NHL right away.
Crazy.
I think
there are those guys who. I always think of this with Andrew Shaw. Andrew Shaw was called up to the Hawks with Dylan Olsen. Was that it was some sort of defensive prospect that was a little more valued in the organization. He was a higher rated prospect, And Shaw was like, well, this guy will be here for a week and then go back. And Andrew Shaw never went back. He kind of was the same guy in the AHL that he was in the NHL. Like the numbers didn't really change.
Yeah.
He just maintained his production at the higher level, which is weird. It doesn't really happen very often. But I guess when you're playing with world-class players, getting time on the first line, getting time on the power play, that happens.
Yeah.
I know Stauber and Shaw obviously play different positions, but who knows? With better defense in front of him, he's been terrific.
Yeah, I mean, look, like goalies are a much different animal than most other positions in the NHL, pretty much any other position in hockey. But maybe it is a thing where Stauber plays better in a faster game. Like it just works better for him in the way he tracks the puck, the way he moves, and the way he's positioned works better when the game moves faster. I mean that could be a thing. It could just be also too that now he got his first taste of the NHL midway through the season, 2/3 through the season. Like he's probably got his gears moving, so being able to kind of hit the ground running into the NHL and do this well, it doesn't hurt. But I mean, look, is he actually the goaltender of the future? No.
Who knows?
But
I don't know.
Looking the way he has in his first 6 starts in the league, like it definitely could turn out to be something where the Kyle Davison and the Blackhawks found something when no one else really thought there was anything there.
Yeah, and I think coming into this situation for Stauber, the way he was called up, kind of an emergency basis. He got called up because Stalock got hurt again, and Soderblom just went back down and wasn't playing great.
Yeah.
There was zero expectation for him when he got here.
Yeah.
That probably helped because you could just go out there and be like, hey, if we lose 7-0 tonight, that's what everybody expected me to do.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I can just go out here and be loose, and then he wins that first game, and now he's confident.
Mm-hmm.
And a confident goalie, regardless of the talent level, is a dangerous goalie. And so having zero expectations, got him in here feeling good, won a game, won a second game, become the first goalie to ever win his first 3 starts in Blackhawks history. And then all of a sudden, you just get the confidence. He had that game in Montreal, and then you thought, okay, welcome back to Earth.
Yep.
Here we go. But then he comes
back.
right back and wins 2 more games and has been very good. He shows some the Jamie Benn goal. I didn't like that one. I mean, right through the legs. He didn't.
Yeah, not
I don't
great.
think he really expected him to shoot. But when Jamie Benn has the puck on his stick, you should be ready for a shot. But that's a rookie mistake. I think. I don't think the next time Jamie Benn's coming on a 2-1, I think he's going to be a little more prepared,
a little more proactive. Yeah.
So you can, in the long run, it didn't hurt them in this game. The Hawks. I jokingly said when the Hawks were down 2-0, I was like, they got them right where they want them, and they did. So
Well, they had to get down 3-0
right.
first.
Well, they had the spot. This was revenge for that game in November when the Hawks blew that 4-1 lead with 10 minutes to go. So it's a great story for Jackson Stauber. I'm not ready to put him atop the goalie prospect list. I'm not ready to anoint him goaltender of the future. But it's been a really fun story, and good for him. He's a good kid. Every time he does, he talks with the media, he's kind of, golly gee whiz,
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, like him and Cole Gutman, might be the same guy. I'm not sure. They're very similar in a lot of aspects, but good for him. And it's a nice story, and it gets him some confidence. And who knows what happens here? If Alex Stalock comes back in the next couple of games, maybe he goes back down to Rockford, and that gives Rockford a boost.
Sure he would, yeah.
Though goaltending hasn't really been too much of an issue.
Rockford could use a boost.
Soderblom struggled for 3 or 4 games and then got really good for 5 or 6 games, and now he's kind of back to
struggling again, yeah.
But he's been overused. So getting Stauber there.
Play 9 of 10 games is not a good way to go.
That's going to wear out any goaltender. So getting Stauber back there, playing confident, maybe you can go back to an actual tandem between those two, and then you'll have 2 relatively rested goalies heading into the playoffs.
Speaking of comeback wins, what was the stat that you
8th comeback, 8th multi-goal comeback this season for the Hawks, most in franchise history.
Gee.
How about that?
I believe it.
There are, as predicted, some people freaking out about the tank. In the chat, I saw L. Ron Hubbard had a comment saying that I look forward to being called stupid for worrying about the tank. Look, it's okay to be a little bit concerned, but here's what I want you to do.
How come you don't have a volcano as your profile pic?
The trade deadline is the 3rd of March.
8 days away.
Even if
8?
If Patrick Kane says I'm staying.
In 26 minutes.
Think about this team. Take away Max Domi, Jake McCabe, Sam Lafferty. Start taking these guys away. Athanasiou, maybe Jack Johnson. Like, start subtracting players from this roster that can go.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
And then realize who you're replacing them with.
Nikita Zaitsev.
You're going to be placing Patrick Kane with Josiah Slavin.
Right. And maybe Reichel comes up.
Reichel,
Sure.
yeah.
Fine.
But Reichel not playing with a Patrick Kane and a Max Domi is not going to be as effective as he was the last time he was here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not ideal to go on a 4-game winning streak in late February. It's not ideal for the tank, but it doesn't. They're still within striking distance of the worst record in the league to guarantee you a top 3 pick. That's not out. We haven't screwed that. We're not the Coyotes who have like completely put themselves.
At one point tonight, they were about to put themselves back in the wild card race.
Yeah, and then
when the Flames realized, hey, we're playing the Coyotes.
So, I don't know. It seems to me like, yes, it's not ideal. I think I wonder, like, if you do one of those Venn diagrams with the circles.
Yeah. How
many people say on one circle, oh my God, we can't win because of the tank, and then the other circle, finishing with the worst record doesn't guarantee you the number 1 pick.
It's a circle.
I think it's the same people.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, if you want to feel worse, the next 3 Hawks games are against the Sharks, Ducks, and Coyotes.
You know what? After beating Ottawa, Toronto, Vegas, and Dallas in these last 4 games, they are primed to get outscored 20-4 in those next games and lose all 4 of them.
They've been playing up to their competition, 2 division leaders, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are a Stanley Cup favorite.
They're a playoff lock.
Yeah, so maybe they play down to their competition because, hey, those are 3 games that, as far as tank standing goes, will go a long way if you don't get any points.
Lose all of them, and I would be...
Especially that Ducks game. Just
not sad.
But have Patrick Kane miss that game for trade reasons.
Yeah.
And
trade protection.
Sure.
Jared Tenori's not here to score 2 goals
against
the Ducks.
Play with an empty net.
Yeah, look, in the 2006-2007 season, the Blackhawks finished with the 5th worst record, right? That means they had the 5th best odds to win the draft lottery. They won that draft lottery, and they picked Patrick Kane. So, you don't always need the worst record and the best odds to come away with the best player.
No, it helps, and you definitely, that was the goal of the season. They won't admit that, but it was the goal of the season.
It's the best mathematical.
Right. You want to give yourself the best chance. You can only control so much, and giving yourself the best odds is all you can control. And then it's all out of your hands. They still have a really good shot at accomplishing that.
And look at the roster Kyle Davidson put together. It is certainly tank worthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he did things to improve the team. As soon as Lucas Reichel came up and started looking like the guy we think he's going to be, is like, yeah, we won't be doing that. You're going back down to Rockford. Thanks.
Yoink.
Thanks for your service. We'll see you in a few months.
Yeah.
You've got your 4th string goalie and Jackson Stauber starting games and winning. It's like, my God, what more honestly can Kyle Davidson do?
Right.
He just has to wait to hear from Patrick Kane if he wants to be traded or not, which we're all waiting for. And the interesting thing about that is that the New York Rangers have entered the chat. So why don't we?
There's been a lot of Ranger smoke.
Yeah. Why don't we do our 3 stars, our 4 stars of the game rather, and do the king of the game, and then take a little quick break, and then we will come back and discuss the trade that happened today and the potential trades that could be coming. So let's go with the 3rd star. Jesus, 4 stars. I'm so tired.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ranger Smoke is the name of the band that made this song.
Ranger Smoke. Number 3 star of the game, Jamie Benn of the Dallas Stars. He had a goal and an assist. He had 3 shots on goal. He's a good player. 16-22 of ice time for him.
He's all right.
Number 2 star, Patrick Kane. He had himself 2 goals and an assist. That's 3 points. For those that can't math, he's a +2, 1801. 2 shots on goal. That's 100% shooting percentage. And he had 2 missed shots also. And a block shot for Patrick Kane. And your number 1 star, Max Domi, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, +2. 15:59 of ice time, 3 shots on goal, another missed shot, 4 takeaways, and a block shot. And that block shot led to his second goal of the game. He blocked that puck at the blue line with his shins and then took it the other way with the 2-on-1 with Kane and did not miss. So there are your 3 stars of the game. My 4 star in this one, and it's a guy that we haven't really even mentioned yet. I thought Andreas Athanasiou was very, very noticeable in this game. And very Athanasiou stat line, -1, 14-19 of ice time, 2 shots on goal, 5 missed shots.
Hey, he was.
But he was there. He was active. He was
him.
trying. Also had a hit and a takeaway. I just thought he was very active, very noticeable. I very easily could have given this to Seth Jones, too, who had 2 assists, and is just really starting to put together game after game after game of really solid defense. But I'm going to give it to Athanasiou tonight because I might not have many more chances to do that.
It's true.
Yeah, I too was definitely thinking of Seth Jones because he was another really great game for Jones. But I'm going to stick with the guy I picked last night and go with Sam Lafferty because dude just keeps going out there and not doing the highlight reel plays very often, but just gets his job done. This is his stat line. 16:43 of ice time, 19 shifts. Only the top line had more shifts among the forwards than Sam Lafferty. Led the team with 4 shots on goal and 4. That had 8 total. I'm reading the wrong. No, that is the right column. Let's start that over. Led the team with 4 shots on goal and 4 hits. And also had a block shot and won 7 of 9 faceoffs tonight.
Pretty good.
So, 31 other general managers. The guy takes the shifts against the top line. He's winning faceoffs.
Yep.
He could shoot.
Yep.
He can hit.
Yep.
He's one of the top 5 skaters in the NHL.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Give me all your draft picks for Sam Lafferty.
I'm not opposed to that at all. The way that the top guys that the Blackhawks could trade by the deadline are playing right now, like they could own like half the first round. They won't, but
Every 3rd pick is the Blackhawks.
That'd be fine. I would not be mad about that. My 4-star of the night. I'm not going to reveal it right now because I do want to shout out Seth Jones. Had a great game. 2 assists, 1 shot, 2 hits, 4 blocks. Could have definitely been on this list. But I'm going to go with his defensive partner. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going with Jackson Stauber. We mentioned it already tonight. The kid's having a great start to his NHL career now. What is it, 6-1? 5-1? 6-1?
5-1.
5-1. Yep. 5-1. 30 saves on 33 shots faced tonight. He continues to impress. So congratulations, Jackson. You stobbed the Stars tonight.
Nice. Like it.
You've been stobbed.
All right, and with that, it's time for our DraftKings King of the Game. The King of the Game is the King of the Hawks, number 88, Patrick Kane. 2 goals and assists, 2 shots on goal, 17:54
Patrick King
of ice time. Man, he looks like he's having fun. And we talked about it a little bit last night when he was given the belt by Cole Gutman, saying, we're better than our record shows. We're having fun. We're playing together. We stuck together. I don't know. It's it's really hard to feel and figure out what is going to happen with Patrick Kane here in the next few days. But want to remind everybody that we are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. That's our DraftKings King of the Game.
I said it on a show a couple nights ago. Said it again on online today during the game. Part of me feels like, behind the closed doors that are the closed doors. Part of me wonders if Kane is playing this way, not to showcase himself, not to say, "Hey, look at me, I'm fine, my hip's all good, trade for me. I'm pissed off at the league. I want to show you all, blah blah blah." Part of me wonders if Kane, on just a more personal note, has made up his mind one way or the other, and that weight is now lifted off of him.
Could be.
And he's like, you know what? I'm no longer going out there wondering in the back of my mind while I'm still playing, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Do I not want to move my family? Do I want to try and chase another cup? What do I have to prove? Do I want to stay in Chicago and break records? Like, maybe personally he has come to, whatever his decision ends up being, and he's just kind of maybe just taking some time to play in that mindset of not having to himself worry about it before making it public. Now, would it make sense if he says, I want to stay, to be like, I want to stay? Yeah, probably. But, I think this is just me spitballing, but I wonder if that is playing a factor, because, we've mentioned it a few times. The human element behind these players and the trade deadline is really overlooked a lot. And I just, part of me just wonders if he personally feels at peace with whatever he's going to do, and that has translated to, I'm going to go out and start having fun, whether it's the rest of this season or for the next couple of games, just making the most of it. So I don't know.
There are a couple things to play there too. I think, and I've mentioned this before, but I know everybody doesn't see every show. I think that he has had some conflict with, and it's just me again, we're all spitballing, we're all trying to read the tea leaves here. He has said several times he wants to do right by the team, and I feel like he might be feeling himself being, like, he feels obligated to accept a trade. Like, he feels like, I can't just walk away. I can't just leave them with nothing for me, so maybe I should just go and help them out. But I don't know if his heart is in leaving.
No.
You know what I mean? And maybe he's going to feel guilty if he doesn't accept a trade and then ends up somewhere else next year, and the Hawks have nothing to show for their greatest player, arguably in franchise history. But people keep saying that. They do. They've got 3 Stanley Cups. They've got, a Conn Smythe. They've got a Hart Trophy winner. They've got one of the game's all-time great players that's going to have his number up there forever. That's not nothing.
Right.
It's not nothing. And, yeah, it would be great to get some draft picks for him. But if he says, I want to play out the end of this season and have the farewell tour, and the Hawks don't re-sign him, he's got that right. And I do think, part of he does feel a bit of an obligation to, maybe accept a trade for the good of the team. I don't know. Again, we're all trying to figure it out. And it's not just us. It's the people who work for the team don't know either.
Yeah.
And remember, Pierre LeBrun today had a report. There's been so much happening today, it's almost hard to keep track. He said that Kane would give the Hawks one team. Like that's how he was going to do it. I'm trying to pull up the tweet, but Twitter is being a jerk right now.
One
LeBron
team,
and Friedman both kind of said the same thing, but in different ways.
But then it was a weird thing, because it wasn't like he'll give him one team, and if that doesn't work, then he'll give him another one. Like he's going.
Something was like he would go one team at a time if deals didn't come to fruition. Which it's like if you give the first team, like, there's no guarantee that other team that would be necessarily second in line would be available.
Yeah.
Like,
all right,
they might move on.
So this is an excerpt from LeBron. Quote, if Kane does say yes to exploring the trade market, my understanding is that he and agent Pat Brisson will come up with his top destination and bring it to the Blackhawks for them to explore. So we're talking about one team here, not a list of teams. Now, obviously, there's a chance the top team on Kane's list can't make it work. Then you have to decide if you're moving on to the next team. So if that's the case, that should have been done a long time ago.
So is that, well, that might have already happened. It might have been, hey, I want to go to the Rangers, and then the Rangers said, well, we want Vladimir Tarasenko.
And now the Rangers are back in things.
The Rangers are, there's a lot of reports on the Rangers. Kevin Weeks mentioned it yesterday on the NHL Network, and now today it's all over the place. To me, that tells me Pat Brisson went back to the Rangers and said, hey, he still wants to come to you guys. Now the Rangers are like, okay, let's figure out how we can make this work. I mean, no one's just going to randomly, guys like Elliot Friedman and that are not just going to randomly say, oh, Rangers are back in it. Like, there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier during the game. Like, it could still work. Rangers would have to find a third team to retain another portion of the salary, and then they got to figure out, they got to give up some salary too. Kravtsov is a name. He's physically asked to be traded, so that seems like
more than once.
An easy, but recently, in the last week or so, he wants to be traded.
Yeah.
So that's an easy choice right there. That's a guy that, it's not their top prospect.
22, 23?
Yeah, he's very young. So that's a guy that could fit into a rebuilding team scheme. The issue is they've already traded away one of their first. They had 2 first-round picks. They had the one from Dallas. They've already traded one of those picks away for Tarasenko, but it's a conditional pick. It's the lower of the 2.
Of their own and Dallas.
Right. So whatever pick is lower, St. Louis gets, which means if they're going to have to give up a first for Kane,
they're giving up a higher pick.
The Hawks would get the higher pick. So maybe that works out. I mean, Stars and Rangers, they're both going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're going to be. It's a
about
difference between picking 19th and 21st.
Right.
Or 24th and 30th. I mean, it's not like one's going to be 7th and one's going to be 30th.
Right.
They're going to be within 6 or 7 picks of each other, most likely. But, yeah, there's some finagling to do, but
any first-round pick you're going to get for Patrick Kane is going to be a later first-round pick because it's only going to be contenders trading for him.
Right, yeah.
So you can't get too worked up about I want it to be top 15. Well,
that's not going to happen unless
the Rangers collapse.
Yeah.
Unless Ottawa's clearing cap space to bring in
I was just going to say that. They want to reunite DeBrincat and Kane to make a run and
make a wild card run.
Yeah.
Go for it, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things to do here and so many things to fall into place, and we still don't know. As Mario said, maybe he's made his decision in his own mind, which is great. Can you freaking tell somebody already? Crack open a nice ice-cold Goose Island and let us know what your future is.
Yeah.
Why not? Look.
Patrick Kane drink?
What?
He's been known to.
He's dabbled once
or
twice.
He's been known to. If there's ever a beverage to help you make a life decision, it is a delicious Goose Island beer. I'll tell you what. Goose Island Beer Company, they are the new official beer of the CHGO Sports Network. Right? That's us? Yeah.
That's us last time. That's what my paycheck
Goose
says.
Island, CHGO, a match made in Chicago heaven. They have been Chicago's beer since 1988. And, of course, they have the delicious and great-looking Blackhawks Pale Ale, the limited release celebrating the Blackhawks, because why not celebrate them and their 4-game win streak? They also got the Bulls City 312. Both of those are limited releases, so get them while you can. Get it? Can. Of course,
No.
The 312. Of course, the 312, the headliner of the Goose Island beer lineup in the distinguished golden can. And they have a deep roster of beers. The Bourbon County Stout for the dark beer fans. Christmas IPA is great around the holiday season. Green Line, always a good staple. The Beer Hog IPA series, also great as well for the IPA fans. So, a beer for everybody. Goose Island, they got 2 local locations, and they are open and ready to welcome you. Grab a beer right from their innovation tanks at the Goose Island Tap Room, located at 1800 West Fulton. Or you can get yourself a smash burger and a beer of the week at the original Clybourne Brewhouse, which is located at 1800 North Clybourne. For reservations and pickup, you can go to gooseisland.com/locations. Again, Goose Island Beer Company.
You know where else you can get a delicious assortment of Goose Island products? The United Center.
You can.
That's true.
We were there.
Yes, that's where we had our CHGO takeover. I've seen it with my own eyes. And if you want to get in access to the United Center and save money, whether it's a Blackhawks game, a Bulls game, or a concert. They got a lot of big concerts coming up. You're a big fan of Lizzo. You can get some tickets.
Who's
to
not?
see her. I don't know. If you're
Honestly.
not, something's wrong with you. She's
Seriously.
awesome.
If you're not, it's about damn time.
Yeah, I understood that reference. I'm not as out of it as you think I am.
Now we just got to get you on the Lana Del Rey bandwagon.
Well, you know what? Something might be doing that for me soon.
The alternate album cover. Google it. Not at work.
Boy. No. Yeah. Anywho, if you want to get into the United Center for any of those great events, check out our friends at Game Time, the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on those tickets to Bulls, Blackhawks, concerts, whatever you want to see, not just at the United Center, but anywhere in the world. Ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could?
Always.
Like the 50-yard line, maybe courtside at a basketball game, behind home plate. Baseball season's just right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You want floor seats at that Lizzo concert? It's possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. You're not going to find a better deal on Blackhawks tickets this season. I bet you after this March 2nd game, there's only one more game left before the trade deadline. I bet you after the trade deadline, those prices are going to drop even more, unless the Nikita Zaitsev buzz is real.
Oh, it might be.
Oh, it's there.
Well, no matter where you're going to buy your tickets, Game Time guarantees the lowest prices. So if you see a price advertised lower on another site, just take a little screenshot of it, send it to our friends at Game Time, and they will match that price. If you love CHGO, and who doesn't, then you'll love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the podcast description. If you're watching live on YouTube right now, scroll down, hit that giant thumbs up on your way down, and you will see the link to buy your Blackhawks tickets. Or if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, you'll see the link in your description as well. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats for all your favorite events. And maybe not your not so favorite events. You'll still save money.
Yeah. $16 to go March
You're
2nd.
begrudgingly buying tickets.
Yeah, if you got to take your wife to see her favorite band and you think they suck, at least save some money.
There you go.
You don't have to break the bank to be miserable.
More money for
2
Goose
hours.
Island to get through the show.
There you go.
There you go.
That's how it goes.
Look at that.
All right. If you missed it earlier, the Hawks made a trade. They acquired Ottawa defenseman Nikita Zaitsev, a 2023 second-round pick, and a 2026 fourth-round pick for future considerations.
Future considerations.
Literally nothing.
Well, all they got to do is consider the future.
Yeah. It's
Okay, done. Trade's done.
one step beneath Michael Hekarainen.
Right. Yes.
At least that was an actual
At
guy.
least, yeah.
They actually had to make a jersey for that guy wherever the hell he went.
Yeah. Poor guy. Poor Mikey.
This was this is a puzzling trade because I don't know what Ottawa's doing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
what are they
you're-
carrying salary?
I mean, it's
for?
It's
$4.5
get
million for
Chikrin?
next year, so maybe it's to make room for DeBrincat, but
he's not
maybe,
staying.
but
it doesn't feel like it, does it?
he's not staying.
it's like Ottawa is like trying to act like a buyer at the deadline when they're not in the playoff hunt at all. Like, if you're trying to get Chikrin, it kind of makes sense. But if you swing and miss, then what do you do?
Well, we talked about this last night with the Blues, with them looking at Timo Meyer. And
Yeah,
at first we're
that's
like,
another
what?
weird one.
And then when you look at the core of that team, it's locked up. And Ottawa, maybe not to that extent, but they've got some good young talent.
They
They're
got
ready for that.
Rafferson and Norris, who's been hurt. He's locked up.
Maybe they're looking at a Timo Meyer or a Chikrin or whatever. You got Brady Tkachuk is signed for the next 300 years.
Nice.
Claude Giroux's got 3 years left.
Oh, okay.
Drake Batherson's got 5.
Good.
You got DeBrincat, who's restricted after this year. But if they can bring in somebody like Timo Meyer or Chikrin, maybe DeBrincat's a little more.
I would go more
excited about staying.
If I'm Ottawa, I do go for Chikrin because they definitely need some help defensively, and
Absolutely.
a goaltender wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Yeah.
But
Don't
yeah,
believe in Anton Forsberg?
not really. I didn't even believe in him 6 years ago when he was here. But yeah, it's just maybe they shouldn't have given up on Philip Gustafsson, who's taken away the starting job from our beloved Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
But it is a puzzling move on Ottawa's behalf, but it's a move that people have been talking about all year, that they're going to want to get rid of this contract.
Yeah.
And listen, Kyle Davidson adding a second-round pick in this draft, historically, it's going to be probably one of the first
In the
8 to 10 picks of the second round.
Well, any pick outside the first round is locked in just based off your position in the standings.
Right.
So
It's
it'll be what, 40th, 41st?
Somewhere around, it's going to be
that?
in between like 38 and 42.
Yeah.
And this is a draft we've been told has like 60 first-round.
Right.
picks.
So you're going to
yeah.
get a guy that would probably be a first-round
been-
pick in any other draft.
Probably would have been a first-round pick last year.
like a top 20 pick, maybe.
Yeah.
You know. So
That's wonderful.
and you literally gave up nothing,
Right.
and then you get a guy that's going to like do absolutely no harm to your team at all.
Right.
A player of no consequence this season and
Or next season. Next season's not about wins either. So you get him in here next season. He helps you get to the cap floor, which you need. $4.5 million is. I mean, I had a lot of guys and girls in my timeline after the trade, still worried about the salary cap. Guys, we got to uncondition ourselves. Stockholm syndrome. Salary cap is not an issue anymore.
Not
the
an
issue
issue.
is, can we get to the floor?
They have
Less than $40 million invested in the next season.
and that's without signing Kurashev.
Right.
So yeah.
So what's
you're
the
gonna
cap?
need to
What's
make
the cap floor? 70 or
60 something.
So you got to spend almost $30 million to get to the cap floor. The floor.
Right.
Like the cap is not people. There's been a lot of people. Oh, you know what? Are they going to put Taves on LTIR to save cap space? For
You don't have
what?
to.
They don't
Yeah,
need
you don't
to.
have to.
And there's going to be even less cap. There's going to be less salary cap in a few days when more guys. The salary. So stop worrying about the salary cap for now. When it's time to start worrying about the salary cap is when guys like, hopefully Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, Kevin Korchinski, all are needing that second contract.
Yes.
That's when you start sweating it. Hopefully by then it's going to be way higher than it is now. But obviously that means the market's going to be way higher too. But right now you don't have to worry about it. So you get a guy next year that if he's awful, great, another top 5 pick next year. If he's kind of sort of good, you flip him at next year's deadline and get even more assets for him.
The other 4D chess move that Davidson made that we forget about a little bit is starting that first year on Reichel last year.
Right.
So he becomes a free agent sooner, which might not sound like the greatest thing, but if they were to wait until this year, it's another year where he's maybe full-time and putting up big numbers, whereas I think it expired, in 2 years? It's like
So
after next
he
year?
burned last year. So then this is year 2.
So next year is the last year of his...
Not this summer, but the next summer, he'll need the new deal.
So, but
you
what
can
are
give it
the
to
odds
him
that
this
between now and then he becomes a hugely, hugely expensive player?
Slim.
Right?
Slim, unless he wins Rookie of the Year and puts up 80
So
points or
that's
something.
Davidson kind of like staggering and saying, well, I'm going to have to re-sign Reichel, but I don't want in 3 years I got a lot of things
There's
that could
also-
be coming up.
Yeah.
Does he even try and get even further ahead of that and try and give him an extension this summer? So here's a 2-year bridge deal type
I'm not
thing.
opposed to that.
I mean, I don't know if Reichel takes it.
Yeah, like Reichel would probably say no.
No.
I
Not
kind of
after
want
having
to.
eaten
I
that
kind of want to
horseradish and
get.
apple pie.
Yeah, I want to kind of get a full NHL season under my belt before I talk contract. Yeah, that is an option. And looking at things like that too. That's kind of why part of me is like I'm super excited to see guys like Del Mastro and Korchinski and Allen. And some of the college guys like Wyatt Kaiser and Landon Slager, like these guys kind of come up and get in. But on the other side of that, my brain is also like, well, yeah, that'd be great to get all those guys in right away. But also, like, could you give Korchinski another year to dominate junior, play at the World Juniors? Like,
Why not?
and then extend
You're
that
gonna-
contract a little bit?
You're going to see guys stagger. They're not going to bring them all in the same year because then you have to re-sign
pay them all in the same year. Yeah.
This is why the hard salary cap sucks balls.
Yeah.
Because you can't enjoy
absolutely.
it. You can't enjoy it because these guys haven't even signed their entry-level deals and we're already worried about
stressed
what their
about it.
next...
Oh, yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
afford all these guys?
Yep.
We don't
Yeah.
even know if they're going to be any good and we're already stressed out if we could keep this core together. F you, hard salary cap. You
It's
suck.
so bad.
By the way,
freaking worst.
Speaking of next year, before tonight's 6-point performance for Connor Bedard, did you realize? I know you guys did, but to our listeners at home, that coming into tonight's action, Connor Bedard was not the CHL's leading scorer.
yeah. He got,
Jordan Dumais,
yeah.
before tonight, was the CHL's leading scorer with 106 points. Bedard came into the night with 105. He's
Well-
draft eligible next year. Dumais, right?
Am I thinking of the same guy? I mean,
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead. Keep
I'm
going.
just saying, like, there's more great players on the horizon. And next year, you're talking about how they're going to get to this cap floor. I think you could really see Davidson make some hay, not only at this deadline but at the draft. As teams are gearing up for free agency, they've got those Peter Mrazek, Nikita Zaitsev type contracts, and he's going to say, "Let's go, give me a call. Yeah. What do you got? What's it going to take? You want to give me a first round pick to get rid of your bad contract? I'm in.
I'm
Let's
predicting third round pair opening night, third line pair on the blue line for the Hawks next opening night. Nikita Zaitsev and Alex Martinez.
Oof, wonderful.
Bring
next
on that number 2 pick
next year. Next year we could definitely be talking about the Blackhawks and their lottery ball odds.
Oh wait, he was drafted by the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, he was a Blue Jackets pick.
I'm an idiot.
I was gonna say, I was just like, I'm pretty sure I heard that he was a story about him
overall.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's been tearing up the queue. So good for him.
You should call him up, like right now.
Yeah, they should. I don't know what they're waiting for. Yeah, I think there's next year is going to be a lot like this year, but with just a couple extra guys that actually matter. Not that many more, but a couple extra. But yeah, I don't think Davidson is going to be like, okay, we got through the tank season, now let's start contending. I don't think that's going to be the case. There's going to be some moves made this off season, free agents signed that are similar to what he did this year, where you look at guys who are looking for an opportunity that they're not going to get elsewhere. Here's a 1-year, $4 million deal, helps us get to the cap floor, gets you some top pair or top 6 minutes. We flip you at the deadline. I hope you enjoy your time in Chicago. It just seems like that's going to be the case.
I like to acknowledge new faces and new names in the chat, and I see
a lot of them.
I see one G Davia. I hope I said that right. Says it seems like the Hawks have been rebuilding since 2016. Well, they probably should have been.
No, they haven't.
But they certainly weren't. When you trade for Seth Jones, when you trade for Marc-Andre Fleury, when you sign Jake McCabe, that's not rebuilding. And even when the year before that, where Sam Bowman published his thing, like,
oh
shit,
whoa, we had a long streak going.
Pearl.
That's a full dollar.
I was wondering. I didn't even hear it.
It was a quick reaction by Mario.
That was a full dollar.
Oh, man. It's been a while.
Cha-ching.
That thing might be like welded shut.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to get pizza in here one of these nights with the "You shall not be named" money.
Oh, there it is.
Damn it. It has been a long time. I forgot what I was saying.
Smells like old money.
Yeah. Rebuilding. Yeah, they've not actually rebuilt. He talked around it. He paid it lip service. He talked about rebuilding on the fly.
Yeah.
They should have been since 16 or 17 doing that. And you look at, like, again, back to the Blues. They trade Tarasenko, they trade O'Reilly. They've got their young core locked up, and now they're looking to get a Timo Meier who they're going to resign and sign long term. And that is how, if you want to do it on the fly, you've got to make those difficult, unpopular moves where beloved players get moved because of, yes, they've had great histories. Tarasenko, Ryan O'Reilly,
Big
Stanley
parts of
Cup
their
champions.
first ever cup.
Exactly.
But
you
future's
gotta
with
move
Rob
on.
Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, not Vladimir Tarasenko and
Exactly.
Ryan O'Reilly, where that guy traded away your Jordan Kyrou's and Rob Thomas to keep the Vladimir Tarasenko's and Ryan
Exactly
O'Reilly.
right. Exactly right. So that's what takes SAC, is to make the move that's unpopular. And we have seen Kyle Davidson do that many times already with Doc and DeBrincat. He very well might trade Patrick Kane at the peak of his performance this year, right? And there's a lot of people in this chat who we've not seen all year saying, boy, I really don't want Patrick Kane to leave. I really don't want Patrick Kane to leave now. Yeah. This is making it a less popular,
right? Because
your average Hawks fan, your casual fan watching the news every night at 10 says, wait, they traded Patrick Kane? Didn't he just have 7 goals in the last week or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's tough, but he has shown he's got the stones to do it, and that's the proper way to do it, which is why I kind of respect it. That's truly what the St. Louis Blues are doing. I hate them, but good for them, because that's how you're supposed to do it.
Good GMing. Was there a question in that original super chat about Zaitsev while we were talking about him?
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, Michael, the $5 super chat. And thanks, Windy City
Deal,
Hockey, for your $2 super chat as well.
This Zaitsev deal all but signals a D, maybe two are going to move at the deadline, right? Especially if they want some of the young guys to play. So what I found interesting about this acquisition of Zaitsev is that a lot of people were saying, like, well, this basically means Jake McCabe is out the door. While McCabe has been the defenseman getting the most pub when it comes to Blackhawks defensemen that are potentially going to get traded, Zaitsev plays on the right side, and McCabe is a left defenseman. So could it still be McCabe on the way out? Yeah. But if you're looking to say, oh, Zaitsev's going to take somebody's place who's on the way out, is it Connor Murphy? And we just haven't heard anything? Or maybe they just say, okay, Zaitsev plays out the rest of the season. Isaac Phillips, you're going to stay in Rockford the rest of the year. Or Ian Mitchell, you go back down to Rockford.
Maybe.
That could also be in play.
As much as I love Jake McCabe, I feel like his value will never be higher.
No.
Right.
And if you can get a first-round pick for him, especially in this draft, you've got to do it. You have to, and I think it's funny how when the Maple Leafs join the conversation, as they have with Sam Lafferty, all of a sudden Sam Lafferty becomes a hot commodity around the league. It's weird because all those Canadian pundits start talking Sam Lafferty, and your average, fan in Winnipeg is like, never heard of this guy, and they start doing some research, they start scouting a little bit, and everyone starts to get excited about Sam Lafferty, and these, the hype around these guys generates the return because the perception of Kyle Dubas or whoever is going to trade for these guys says, wow, there's a lot of teams here interested in Jake McCabe. I got to make it worth the Hawks' while to get this done.
If only it was Steve
I don't know if
Eiserman.
you're ever going to have more value from Jake McCabe. He's awesome. I love the guy. I would love him to be a Hawk for life. But by the time the Hawks are ready to win again, Jake McCabe's going to be arrow pointed down big time. Yeah. And then we're back to what we're talking about with like Seabrook and Keith.
Yeah. No.
And you're getting stuck with guys who are old and unmovable.
Trade high. Yeah. I mean, I'm not advocating for a trade of Jake McCabe, but if it's there, you take it. If that big return is there, you take it because you're never gonna. Not gonna get a huge return for him at this point after this season. I don't think. Maybe I don't know, but
I mean, go ahead.
But the Zaitsev, I don't think it necessarily means that there's a trade coming for another defenseman. Possibly. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't trade one of their defensemen. At the very least, Jack Johnson. It also could be a sign that maybe Jared Tenorti's not coming back anytime soon. Or they just wanted the free second-round pick and said, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't think...
We'll find a way to play him.
Yeah, I don't think Ian Mitchell, I think this ship has sailed on him, at least with the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And then they can get Isaac Phillips back in Rockford, where they want him to keep playing.
Right. And where he kind of should.
The guy that gets sent back to Rockford, either Mitchell or Phillips, is not the odd man out. That's the guy they want more because then he's going to be able to go and play big minutes on a playoff team. The guy that stays there is the guy that they're kind of like, yeah, we don't really care. And guess who that's going to be? It's probably going to be Ian Mitchell.
Ian Mitchell.
They're not going to care if Ian Mitchell spends 2 out of 3 games in the press box.
Yeah.
If they still believed in him, he'd either be playing every night or he'd be in Rockford being their number 1 defenseman.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's of no consequence to try and shoehorn Nikita Zaitsev into this lineup because, like you said, you're pushing somebody out who likely is the plan is they should be in Rockford right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've no problems with that. And if they do move somebody, you're likely going to be getting a pretty good deal for them, and especially with the teams that need defense and the players that are available outside of Jacob Chychrun, like Joel Edmondson, Vladislav Gavrikov, and Jake McCabe are the biggest names out there. And I don't know, maybe I am super biased about it, but like Jake McCabe out of those 3, I would consider him probably the number 2 behind Chychrun on the market.
I believe.
But Yeah, I think if a smart GM is out there and wants a guy who can play playoff style hockey, be effective, play in a top 4, kill penalties, put the fear of God in the opposing team, go for it. Go get Jake McCabe. Have him be that kind of player for the next 2 years for $2 million. Absolutely, absolutely worth it.
The fact that it's a rather weak defenseman market at the trade deadline, that helps.
It does play in his favor.
Which also means it's going to be a rather weak defenseman market in free agency. Because most guys who are getting traded right now are on the last year of their deal are going to be free agents.
Most likely.
So if there isn't a whole lot out there this summer free agency-wise, and it's all going to be overpriced, why not get Jake McCabe now? And then have him for 2 more years at a discounted price, even at his full $4 million is great value.
That's fair value for sure.
This free agent class is hot garbage.
The trade market is
Oh God!
If Jake McCabe is seriously one of your top 2 defensemen available, no offense, Jake McCabe, don't kill me. That just shows you that it's not the greatest market.
Not the deepest.
No, because let's face it, Jake McCabe on a contending team is probably going to be a 3rd pairing defender. Maybe 2nd, depending on what team he goes to, and how they want to, if the team wants to do
he's a guy that
offensive guy, defensive guy. Pairing.
He's a guy that could play 18 minutes, be on your penalty kill.
Oh,
who's the class,
bad.
Jay? Because your face is getting cringy.
That's why Jake McCabe's value is so high right now.
So John Klingberg is the top free agent defenseman. Good player. 30 years old. He's got some good hockey left in him.
He's hurt right now, so that sucks for the Ducks.
Matthew Dumba.
Womp womp.
Okay, Matthew Dumba's a guy.
Guy who's the Wild have tried to trade 3 seasons in a row.
The 80s.
Eric Johnson, who's 35. Dimitri Orlov, Shane Gostisbehere, Oscar Klefbom, Damon Severson, Brian Dumoulin, Jake Gardner, Kevin Shattenkirk, who's 100 years old, Ryan Graves, Ian Cole, Travis Hamonic.
When you make an expansion team in NHL 23 and you do the expansion draft, these are all the guys that are left unprotected.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Blackhawks legend Jordan Osterley is available.
Hey, there you go.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So if you could trade for Jake McCabe and get him for 2 more years and not have to sign one of those guys,
not have to overpay
for $4 million, $5 million per.
Yeah.
That's why I think the buzz is real about him.
Emily Kaplan, friend of the show, said the asking price for McCabe is 1st round pick plus.
Yep.
If you get that, this is what we did this with Hagel. If you get more than what we would even expect, being Blackhawks fans and observers,
it's an easy trade.
Absolutely go and do it. If a team is going to say, here's our 1st round pick and a little bit more, you absolutely shake the hand and hang up the phone.
Look, no one was happy to lose Brandon Hagel.
No.
Until you saw 2 firsts and 2 players, well, a player and a half, coming back in that trade.
Player.
One NHL player, one guy wearing NHL
uniform. One guy that had his own skates.
And 2 first picks.
Justin asked a good question. We haven't really talked about Max Domi's value and what the return for Max Domi might be.
Keep playing him with Patrick Kane, and it's going to be a 1st round pick plus.
You got to trade them both. You got to trade them together.
I don't think you're getting a first for Domi.
Package deal.
I still think the reputation is.
You saw it last night with the misconduct penalty. He goes after Keegan Colasar after the whistle, which dumb move.
Yeah,
Keegan Colasar can end your life if he wants to. I've seen that dude fight in the AHL. I've stood next to that guy many a times after a Wolves game. He will kill you. He's a scary dude. There were people when he was with the Wolves. It was when they were obviously the Vegas team. They were like, yeah, Keegan Colasar might be the only guy in the organization that could take out Ryan Reeves when Ryan Reeves was with the Golden Knights. So, but you saw that he took him out. The game was tied at the time, and he took himself out of the game, the team's leading scorer, for 12 minutes because he needed to prove a point.
Didn't we just have this conversation?
Yeah, well, at least the other 2 times he took himself out of the game, it was protecting Patrick Kane. This time it was rather selfish.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things where you're like, he made up for it. He's you can't. They still won the game.
Yeah.
But
and then he has nights like tonight.
Yeah, and you're just but it's that stuff that teams are gonna be like, well, I don't know if he's gonna do that, and I don't think when you give up a first-round pick at the trade deadline. It's for a guy that's going to be a top-line player or top 6 player or a top-pairing defenseman.
Impact, yeah.
I don't think a team that's trading for Max, they're going to acquire Max Domi to be a depth guy, to be their third-line center that can score a few goals. There's not many contenders, if any. He's a top 6 player like he is in Chicago. He's not a top-line player on any playoff team. So you're not going to give up a first-round pick for a guy that's going to play 15 minutes a night on your third line.
Especially in a draft this deep.
And he's not a penalty killer. He could play on your second power play unit first, maybe depending on what team. But you're not going to playoff teams aren't going to give up that kind of capital for essentially a depth guy.
Yeah.
Because that's what he'd be on every playoff team. Look at where he was in Carolina last year. He played on the 4th line.
Mm-hmm.
But that was coming off of He was getting moved from a situation which he was not in like he is.
He's proven that he can handle top 6, but I just don't see many
contender's
teams.
not going to give him that.
No, they're going to. Patrick Kane could go right into a top 6 role or Timo Meier, but not Max Domi.
Right.
He may get there eventually after a few games and work his way up there come playoff time, but I think that's why the trade value for him probably won't get as high as many want. Second round pick,
take and
done.
Run. Yeah, take and run.
If a team came to me with just a second, I would try and maybe egg him along a little bit more. Like, hey, let's work on something. If it could be like a second this year and a second or third next year, I think that would be fair value, because I don't think unless it's a first round pick, I don't think it's a one asset thing. I think Domi has some value to a contending team where he can play on a third line, he can play on a second power play unit. Everything you just said. He also brings that edge that come playoff time, the whistles get a little quieter, and that kind of style of play. You get away with a little bit more of that, and he can be an effective player if he can be smart about it. So I think if you can get 2 assets for him, and at least one of them is a second round pick this year, I think that would be fair, and I think that's worth moving.
Yeah,
for sure.
Second round pick, or a top 3 prospect instead of a pick. Or here you go. You package Patrick Kane and Max Domi together to Vegas, and you get even more. You say you got the cap space now.
Yeah, you could. You just
added
guys
to the Coyotes Ring of Honor with Shea Weber, Mark Stone's on LTIR. Jesus. We got to talk about that. Make fun of our friends in Phoenix for another
legendary player.
Yeah, he's joining Marian Hossa and Pavel Datsyuk and
I think
Chris Pronger.
I think Craig Morgan put out the starting lineup. Yeah. was Datsyuk, Hossa, Boland,
Marcus Kruger,
Pronger.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a depth
player. Brian Little. Yeah. And now Shea Weber.
I was a little mad at our buddy Craig, and I love Craig, but he had Brian Little in his starting lineup over Dave Boland. Come on, man. Watch a game.
Get a little size up there.
Interesting.
Give me.
Speaking of Kruger, somebody mentioned him in the chat, saying
Marcus
that
Kruger?
in the it was Lebowski says in the golden era of the Blackhawks, Domi would play with Marcus Kruger.
Domi would have been Andrew Shaw.
Andrew Shaw or Christopher Stieg.
He would have been Andrew Shaw.
Yeah. He's got more talent than Andrew Shaw. I think offensive ability.
Yeah,
he's faster. He's got a better shot.
He would have played that role.
But he would have played that role because there's more guys that play the scoring role on those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when Andrew Shaw went to Montreal, he started scoring. Didn't he have like 2 20-goal seasons?
Something like he at least won.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they put him in the top 6.
Yeah, they needed him to play that kind of role.
He did play some top 6 minutes in Chicago, but that was more of like Quinville's line blender. We need some grit. We need some sandpaper.
It's nice to play alongside prime Jonathan Toews and pre-skin condition Marian Hossa.
It helps.
Doesn't hurt, that's for sure.
I would like to have done that.
It gets you $24 million from Mark Bergevin.
It sure does.
All right, we have 98 likes, right?
Nice. Connor Bedard.
I think we should get to 100. That's for sure.
Easily.
Smash that like button. I know we've got a lot of people in there that have not smashed it yet, so please do. We're going to do our tank-a-thon update. We're going to spin the wheel and get some draft picks. So if we get to, we're too close to 100. Let's get to 110.
Let's get
for a bonus spin. Can we do that?
Hold on 1 second. Give me a second.
20 points does Connor Bedard
I'm
have?
just looking that up. Let's get to 100. 111 likes.
All right.
All right, we're at 100 and look at that. Jumped right up to 107.
There you go.
I like this is what 3 straight shows with over 100 likes,
Great.
over 100 people in the
Hey,
chat.
people come in when the Hawks win and when trade deadlines close.
It's
And when Patrick
12-23
Kane is scoring
on
the equivalent of his season total of goals.
12:30 on a Wednesday night / Thursday morning. We got 162 people in the live chat. I mean, you guys
Thank
are
you.
just amazing. You guys, it's just been growing and growing. I mean, it's
From our live watch party.
It's it's amazing, and I can't wait till like when this team is good again. How awesome these shows are going to be! But you guys are the OGs. We're going to remember all you guys when we're in here having post-game Stanley Cup final shows. We're going to be like, no, there's that guy Michael Wagner giving us super chats during the long season of 22-23, and all. We won't forget you when this is going to be huge, because it's going to be huge.
Yeah. Even the tank deniers, we will welcome you and remember you.
A couple things before we hit a break real quick and then get to the tank-a-thon stuff. Tomorrow's show will be a mailbag show, so hit us up in the members-only Discord or reply to our tweet on our Twitter account at CHGO_Blackhawks. It's not Mario Tirabassi, Nintendo Mario punting a letter. Look for that GIF and reply to that email. Also, or that tweet rather. And on March 1st at 8 p.m., we're going to have our first CHGO Blackhawks happy hour. It's going to be like a Zoom-style meeting. You guys can interact with us, talk with us. We're going to take your questions. So mark that day, March 1st, 8 p.m., CHGO Blackhawks happy hour. I know the Bull Show just did it today, so that's a lot of fun. So make sure you join us
that was a
for
good
that.
time.
If you don't want to hear us talk more about Patrick Kane train rumors, then maybe you don't want to join that. Happy hour.
Right.
Well, hey, it might be over by then.
Maybe. I doubt it.
I doubt it, too. Hey, maybe we can wager on it when it will be over. And if you should use DraftKings Sportsbook. It is the official sports betting partner of CHGO in all city. There are so many ways to play. We love those same-game parlays. I did bet, again, the Hawks to score first in this one, and I lost, so I am officially at 0 in my account.
Hey,
all that
welcome to the
money
club.
I had from the Alex Ovechkin hat trick is now officially gone.
Should have cashed out when you had a chance.
I do have some things pending. Definitely. Wow. But I don't know if I can wait till baseball season's over to refill my account. So maybe I'll take some of the swear jar money and fill up my DraftKings
that's our pizza
account.
You're gonna
money.
put it-
You're
yeah.
not taking pizza out of my mouth
Fair enough.
to
Put
feed
an
your
IOU.
gambling addiction.
Fine.
Can we put that
Well,
on a
I got to
shirt?
find a way to get back on the horse. because
Use your daughter's college fund like most responsible
Yeah, that's true.
gamblers.
That's true. Yeah, I should do that. I've not been on a hot streak. Has anyone had any success lately? Steven, you been doing anything good on DraftKings?
I honestly, once NBA went cold for All-Star break, Super Bowl was big for me. That was it.
Okay.
And then the Hawks keep winning, and I'm losing money on that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I lost all my
Doing a lot
money
of
at the
people.
Super Bowl, and I haven't recharged my account yet. I'm waiting for the right moment.
Well,
Now is the time.
you should do it. Jump on those same game parlays. It's a good way to catch up quickly and get back in the game. I need to do it too. Download the app now. Sign up with the code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. And now, let us update the tank standings. And it's going to be okay, all right?
Jesus.
It's going to be fine.
In 50 combined games this season between the WHL and the World Juniors, Connor Bedard has 61 goals and 134 points.
That's good.
The reason for the season.
I enjoy that.
That is insane.
Be good. All right.
Yeah, so even with all the success we've been having, we're still 4 points, only 4 points out of the worst record.
Anaheim, Columbus both have 41. Anaheim in control because they've played more games. The Hawks with 45 points in 57 games.
Anaheim and Columbus's roster aren't getting much worse
Yeah.
over the next couple of weeks. The Blackhawks roster probably will.
Significantly. San Jose with 47 points in 58 games, and Vancouver with 49 in 57. So there you have it. And we have hit our like number, right? We got 114 likes.
Smashed
Before we do the spins,
Yeah.
one of our listeners was asking about, your shirt size because he says you are about the same body type.
Okay, you're a big
he
fat
wants
guy.
To buy
Congratulations.
he wants to buy one of those.
This is a
spiffy
double X.
shirts.
Should I model it?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's
It's late.
double X.
It's late night. Go for it.
All right, CHG only fans here. It's got a good. It's good. It's. I haven't washed it yet. Sleeves are long, but I have short arms, so
Well,
it's real cozy.
I
told my wife, don't touch it.
I have the 3X.
Don't touch my drum set.
I have the 3X, and it fits me nicely. So
Beautiful.
You can
Yeah.
kind of go
They
from there.
are. I might never wash this because I feel like the CHGO, the one that's in the Bears style crew neck. I don't know if I washed it wrong or something, but it's like the real coziness is like it's worn in now, which
Yeah.
is fine. It's still very comfy.
Mario, please
but
wash
this
it, though.
I'm what's that?
Please watch
Yeah, I
it.
have to sit next to you. Please wash it.
All right, fine.
Just air dry it.
I'll figure out what I did
Gotta put
wrong.
Snuggle
But
in there.
I got this in the mail today. Put it on immediately. It is like the softest, coziest little crew neck you ever wore.
Yeah, I literally took it out of the shipping bag and put it on myself.
Oh yeah, I was the same.
So get yours, chgolocker.com. Remember, diehards save 20%. To become a diehard, go to allchgo.com and, sign up, and you'll get a free shirt or hat upon sign up. You get access to the rebuild report and a bunch of other exclusive online stuff,
Oh, yeah, we
and
gotta do
20% off the locker and all of our events.
Yep.
So do it. All right, we've got 2 spins. All right, let's get to 120 and we'll do a third one. I think we can do that.
Hopefully, we only do one because the Hawks are going to win this
That'd be
first
nice.
spin.
That'd be great.
Last
All right.
night sucked. You owe us whatever site this is.
Prospect Watcher.
Sure, whatever. I'm not giving him a plug until the Blackhawks win the lottery.
Spin it.
Da 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 da.
Capitals.
Get the
Capitals.
F out of my.
Is that even
face.
possible?
Oh, my God.
No.
Capitals, Ducks, Hawks, Jackets, Sharks.
Are wait, hold on.
Capitals have sucked for the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
but they're not in 11th from the bottom.
They might
Are they?
Be. They might
Yeah.
be.
Hold on.
They've dropped like 6. They've lost 5 in a row.
Hold on, folks. Holy smokes, they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Well.
they're getting Ovi back, so that won't hurt.
Can you imagine Bedard and Ovechkin together
No.
for one season?
No.
Screw that.
No.
All right,
Poor,
well,
poor Dylan Strome will get bumped down the lineup.
Ethan asking me if I'm an XXL. Yes, I don't know if you're surprised it's that big or that small. So I'll just pretend you're surprised it's that big and say thank you. I do have a podcast about being fat, literally. Okay, let's do one more.
Cheap plug.
We are just one like away from the extra spin, too.
All right.
All right, well,
Somebody
we'll see.
in here like
Someone's
it.
got to do
Someone
it. Let's
hit
go.
like-
We'll see what happens.
Criminy.
Simmet.
Montreal,
Gross.
Columbus, Anaheim, Chicago.
F Montreal.
Gross.
Yeah.
They rode that 11% right to the top pick.
They sure did. Jay, what was the
We didn't get it?
what was the what was I saw the video. I didn't
There it is.
I didn't
All right.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. What?
You reviewed an Oreo? Did I
Oh,
see
yeah.
that? What was
the
that?
most Oreo? So it's, you've seen, like, a couple of years ago, they came out with the Oreos that are, like, super, super stuffed.
Yeah.
It's like a quad stuff almost. These ones
All the
have
stuff.
These ones have cookies and cream
Oh.
between the Oreo cookie. I'll bring some in. I'll bring them in tomorrow.
Well, isn't that just like Oreo?
It's Oreo
flavored
cream and
Oreos?
Oreo. Yes. It's phenomenal.
All right. Well, sure. Yeah, I'll try it. Hey, we did the cookie dough Twix. I'll
Yeah.
do Oreo.
No,
Oreo.
I can't. I recommend highly.
All right.
Ethan says, Jay, I don't think you're that fat. Well, it's a shirt. It's slimming. All right. We got one more spin here. Let's
All right,
do
we
it.
got the
let's
extra
do it.
spin.
Let's end on a high note. If they don't,
What happened?
it's on the. We're going back to tank-a-thon. F this site. in the
Ducks,
A.
Coyotes, Panthers.
Which is Montreal.
Yeah, it's Montreal, Columbus, and Chicago. That's not good. All right, I think we're back to Tankathon tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
these guys can eat it.
Steven, where are we on you creating your own Tankathon-esque
Yeah, you were
website?
supposed to get on that.
I applied to several colleges and nobody wants me for their programming. Yeah.
You applied to college to make a website?
Yeah. I
Can
don't
you
know
just
how
go to
do
like
this.
GoDaddy or something and they'll do it?
Man, I should have talked to you first.
I don't know.
It's got to just be a way to go into Tankathon, hack their code, and just copy and paste
Yeah.
it. It's probably what that site
Right?
did.
I don't know, guys.
Joey's got to know how to do that.
Yeah,
That
Joey
sounds like a Joey thing.
Joey
We'll
looks like a
figure it
hacker.
out.
Yeah, exactly
We'll
right.
figure it out.
All right.
All right, well, that's over. All right, tomorrow's show is a mailbag show. We're on live at 2:30 from right here in our West Loop studios. So submit your questions, again, on the members-only Discord. Reply to the tweet at CHGO_Blackhawks. You can email us if you're old, blackhawks@allchgo.com. And we'll get your questions answered. And, of course, you can participate in the chat as well. So
I like
mailbag show, which guarantees news will happen before the show tomorrow.
Oh, sure. I like Paul's comment here. It says, that site doesn't calculate for the fix.
That's correct.
That's true.
I think,
Never
Steven,
does.
if you could just come up with a spreadsheet where every team in the spreadsheet is the Blackhawks, and then just hit refresh like, whoa, holy cow, it works.
Wow.
We not only will never lose, we'll get so many first-round picks. Everyone's
That's
going to be
true.
so happy.
See?
I could do that.
Yeah,
That's
let's
it.
do it. All right.
So easy. All right, we'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the continued support and all the likes. This has been by far our biggest week, and it's only going to get bigger with the deadline and
been a
the
lot of
draft
fun.
and everything coming up. So we appreciate you being here with us, especially on a late night. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.